you all are very aware from this topic. So our learning objective for today's lecture is to classify the different types of WBC, to know the basic structure and functions of different types of WBC, to understand the formation and maturation of the WBC, and to know the disorder related to the white blood cells. Now, in your very initial basic classes of first year, you have been taught by our senior faculty members that regarding the blood, their composition, their formation, on all these things we have already discussed in detail. This is here just to review and to recall our knowledge regarding the white blood cells. And as you are in the very senior classes now, in the clinical classes, and here we must say one thing is that all those basic information here need to be revised and to remain in your memory so that you can apply that knowledge in your clinical diagnosis, management, their treatment, and their picture of the disease, which must, we say, these initial and basic knowledge will remain with you throughout your life. So let us start our this lecture session. Leukocytes, you know that leuko means white, cytes means the cell, the only blood components that are complete cells. What do you mean by that? Because red blood cells, they initially are the cell, but when hemoglobin start formation, they lose their nucleus, their organelles, and it become corpuscle. So the complete cell till their whole life, these are the leukocytes. All are less numerous when compared with the red blood cells. They make up 1% of the total blood volume, and they have a property which is called the diapedesis. That means they can move through the tissue spaces and they migrate from the blood capillary to the interstitial area and outside the capillaries and to fight against the invading microorganisms. Their count, WBC count, varies from 4,000 to 11,000 per cubic millimeter, and this is actually the normal count, and when this count increases above 11,000, we call this is leukocytosis. That is known as leukocytosis. And another condition where the white blood cells decrease in their count, we call leukopenia. Leukopenia, decrease in white blood cell count. They are mostly defense providing cells, and whenever any bacterial or viral invasion occurs in the body, they produce their response and they migrate towards the site of invasion of the microorganisms. Yes, we have just discussed leukopenia, decrease in leukocyte count, and we now going to classify the white blood cells. This is based on the presence or absence of the granules in their cytoplasm. So we call the white blood cells are classified into two main groups. One is the granulocyte containing the granules in their cytoplasm, and other are the agranulocyte. You can see here this agranulocyte. So in the granulocyte there are main three white blood cells: the neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils. You are all familiar with their count. From 4,000 to 11,000 total count, 65% of that is neutrophil, and that ranges about 2,000 to 7,000, around like that. And their name, as indicated, neutrophil. Neutro means neutral. It accepts both type of the dye when we stain the blood film with the right stain. And this stain, it contains the basic dye as well as the acidic dye. And when these neutrophils, they accept, phils means attraction. So they attract both the dye. So we call this is neutral in accepting the dye. So name is giving neutrophil. Eosinophil, eosin means acid. When they are loving the acid and they become their color like crimson type. So basophil, basic dye loving. So their color is little bit bluish in color, and they contain a very typical uh, shape of their nucleus. They are lobulated, and they are having bands which connect these lobules of the nucleus. And then again, there is an agranulocyte, as the name indicated, without granules. Their cytoplasm does not contain any coarse granules. So they are monocytes and lymphocytes. These two agranulocytes, they play a very important role to fight against the invading microorganisms, because these monocytes when migrate from the cell, blood cell, they blood capillary through the diabetes, they become macrophage, and we call this is the tissue macrophage. And lymphocytes, they further subdivided into T lymphocyte and B lymphocyte, and you are very familiar with the T lymphocyte. There are different types: T helper cells, T suppressor cells, T cytotoxic cells, T killer cells. And B lymphocytes, they convert into plasma cells, they form the antibodies. Okay. Now, in the next slide, we will see here the granulocytes. They comprise of three basic white blood cells containing neutrophil, eosinophil, and basophil. They contain the granules in their cytoplasm, specifically acidic, basic, or both, with the right stain. I have already told you the name we have given to these white blood cells based upon the type of staining they accept. And they are definitely larger in size when we compare to the red blood cells. If you recall, the red blood cells, their size ranges from 7 to 8 micrometer in diameter, but they are a little bit greater than the 8, about 9 to 10, 12, up to 15 micrometer. So they are larger in size and have the lobe nuclei, while the RBC have no nucleus inside. And one thing is, all are phagocytic cells. Phagocytosis to engulf the microorganisms. Neutrophils, they have two types of granules that take up both acidic and basic dyes, and they give the cytoplasm a lilac color. In between, neither it is clearly red, neither it is blue. So contain peroxidase, hydrolytic enzymes, and very specific. This is defensin, antibiotic-like protein, which kills the microorganism and helps in the digestion and phagocytosis. These are the first line of body defense mechanism inside the blood. And you can see here in this diagram, multi-lobed these nuclei. They are more than 4 to 5 lobe connected with the interlobular threads, bands, and it is like this shape, and they have a very clear cut you can see cytoplasm These two very distinct, and these are the red blood cells around in the film. So they are about 50 to 65% of the total WBC count, and their lifespan is 6 hours to few days, and then they destroyed. They utilize in the process of phagocytosis, and their main function is to phagocytize the bacteria. Then eosinophils, they account for about 1 to 4% of the total white blood cells. They have red staining bilobed nuclei, you can see in the picture. They are connected via a broad band of the nuclear material. So they are very typical with coarse granules in their cytoplasm, and they have acidophilic. So their color is little bit crimson type, and they contain lysosome-like granules which when released on the invading microorganism, they start digestion and phagocytosis. And eosinophils, they are typically we found in the peripheral blood smear. When we go for the complete picture of the blood, we will see that a person who is having some parasitic infection in their body, so the number of eosinophil increases, and this will lead to a little bit guidance regarding the diagnosis of the certain diseases who are involved in allergic response. So whenever there is an allergic reactions in the body, the number of eosinophil increases. So this is very typical and characteristic feature of the eosinophils, that whenever a person who has urticarial rash on the body, they have a parasitic infections and they have an allergic response in the body, you go for the blood picture and you will see that there will be an increased number of eosinophils. So just remember, what is the normal count of eosinophil? It is about ranges 1 to 4%. About you can estimate that. Then there is a basophil. They are less than 1%, 0.5% of the WBC count. Very small number of basophils, and they are again bilobed nucleus, but their shape is either U shape or S shape, and they are having the very typical color, the basic diacectins. And they are very much important regarding any cell which is having this basic color, coarse granules, bilobed nucleus. We can directly diagnose under microscope that this is a basophil. And another characteristic thing is that they contain histamine and heparin in their granules. And if you recall from your memory that the same two substances, the histamine and heparin, are also containing by the mast cells. So they are functionally similar with the mast cells. The mast cells are always we found outside the blood vessels, but they are inside the blood vessel. But whenever they required, they can migrate by the process of diapedesis. And when they degranulate their granules, they releases this histamine, which act as an inflammatory chemical substance to produce a vasodilator. And when their vasodilatation occurs, it means it gives the way for the other cells to easily migrate the white blood cells toward the site of the infection. So what we call the diapedesis. And we can oppose this effect by giving the antihistamines as a counter effect to prevent the excessive vasodilatation, because if profuse vasodilatation occurs mostly by some insect bite or any toxic insect, When bite, that releases histamine and profuse vasodilatation occurs. That may lead to the shock, hypovolemic shock, and this will lead to the death of the person even if it is profused. But to avoid that, to control that, we use antihistamines to counter this effect. Agranulocytes, as I already told you, these are the lymphocytes and monocytes. They lack visible cytoplasmic granules, smaller in quantity, but greater part of the cell is occupied by their nucleus. They are similar structure, but are functionally very different, distinct, and unrelated the cell types. They are spherical in shape, and mostly the monocytes, they are kidney shaped nucleus, and they are very distinctive and easily diagnosed and identified under microscope. I would like to show you here some diagram pictures of those. So lymphocytes, they account for 25% of the total WBC count, and they are large, dark purple circular nuclei with a thin rim of the blue cytoplasm because their nucleus is larger and occupying almost whole cell cytoplasm. Little rim of the cytoplasm remains there, and they are found mostly enmeshed in the lymphoid tissue. They remain in the lymph nodes throughout the body, so they provide a defense mechanism, and they circulate in the blood. But whenever they require, they can migrate and can function effectively. You can see we are going to recall our memory that the lymphocytes, there are T cell and B cell, two types, and their cell function and the cell mediate immune response, the T cells, and I have already told you these are further, we have the T helper cells, T suppressor cells, cytotoxic cells, and these are having very particular function of all. If you recall the cytotoxic T cell, they are containing their cytoplasm, the enzyme known as perforin. And this perforin is a hole forming enzyme. When they bite, they invade the microorganisms, they release their enzyme perforin and they form the holes inside. They causes the punching effect and they destroy the invading microorganism. So these cytotoxic T cell are also known as hole forming cell. Hole forming cell. They are very effective against the invading microorganism and some toxic material, toxic cells. When they become positive to the body, they are destroyed by the cytotoxic T cells. And then we have got B lymphocytes. These are the cells which are providing antibodies after conversion into plasma cells. B cells, they form the plasma cells which produces the antibodies. And you know, antibodies are the very effective against the invading antigen. Antigen antibody reaction takes place. And one thing is very important to express here is that, remember this thing, each antigen has their own antibodies. Neither any antibody can fight against any antigen. They are very specific. Every antigen, when recognized as an antigen, the specific antibodies are formed against that particular antigen, and they cause this to destroy by the 4 steps. If you recall, this is number 1, antigen antibody agglutination formation, neutralization, precipitation, and lysis of the antigen. And this lysis takes place by the activating of the constant portion of the Y shape of antibodies by the complement system, and that complement system is 20 protein cascade reactions, and ultimately, finally, they form a lysis complex known as 5B6, 7, 8, 9. And this is very effective, and whenever there is a mismatched blood transfusion occurs, these complexes, they destroy the red blood cells and they form the hemolysis. So they are very much important. If you recall from the complement system, they are activated by these antibodies. Though I have not mentioned in this lecture, but they are, you have already studied in your previous classes. And monocytes, they are largest leukocytes among all. You can see their nucleus here. You can find this is kidney shape, occupying almost the cytoplasm, and sometimes it looks like a U shape if you look in this direction. No? So they are very typical. You can easily identify under microscope, and they have abundant pale blue cytoplasm, and they are containing nucleus, and they, when migrate from the circulation by the act of diabetes, they become macrophage. And mostly we ask from the students, the cell which originally uh, different from their existing shape and name. It is the monocyte which migrate into macrophages, and there are different types. They are according to the invasion of the site of the macrophages. Like if they are present in the liver, they are known as Kupffer cells, if you recall. If they are present in the lung alveoli, we say it is alveolar macrophages. If they are present in the brain, they are again having a different name. Okay, so what this macrophage, they provide very good defense against the invading microorganisms. So you have to remember this all. Okay, and they when enter into the tissue and they differentiate into macrophages, then they start engulfing the microorganisms. They are highly mobile, and they are very actively phagocytic action, and they activate the lymphocytes to mount an immune response. If you recall that if some person who is attempting to theft something and the people have caught that, what we people do, everyone try to put a slab over there, and this slab is somebody consider it's my right to hit that particular person. Okay, not only the population of that area start beating that person, but they call the police to capture this person, to take it to the lockup and somewhere jail and like that. The same process, the macrophages, they capture, they present to the antigen presenting cell, to the antibodies, they recognize as a memory cell, so that their complete data should be remain. If they enter again, they can be captured easily. So, and next is they activate the complement system, they activate the antibody system, and whole body become activated. कि पता नहीं क्या हो गया, something is like unusual, some enemy has attacked over the body. The all defense system of the body at once they start reacting on invasion of the microorganisms. But remember one thing, if your body is having a pure immune system, uh, very poor, then our response will be poor, and the invading microorganisms, they become more active, and the person go into the process of a disease, and it will ultimately die if we are not provide defense against these microorganisms. Now here the summary of some formed elements of the blood. You can see here. Uh, if you recall, all these cells are formed from the very basic pluripotent hematopoietic stem cell, and from that the colony forming unit are formed, and then they are bound to produce the specific type of the cell from the specific colony forming units into different mollite series and erythroid series. So you can see in this diagram, in the tabulated in this table, the erythrocytes, they are formed, and they are uh, having a very typical. So this is not about today's topic. So let us see the leukocytes, white blood cells, neutrophil, eosinophil. Then already specification we have discussed. Their action is phagocytize the bacteria, and they live in the duration and lifespan 6 to 9 days, and uh, in the chapter of blood, they remain about 6 hours. Okay, so I will more discuss that this type of the invasion of the person, they are likely to have a increased amount of duration of the cell, and these neutrophils definitely they live a longer life period and than the other cells, and RBC having the greater lifespan about 120 days, they live for 6 hours to few days, and their this eosinophil, they are having a you can see 8 to 12 days, they are having the greater time period lifespan. So I will say that these are very specific, the eosinophils, and they are, as I have told you, the parasitic worms, when they enter the body, they are destroyed by the eosinophils, and they have a very much in anti-inflammatory chemicals like an allergic response. Then we can see here basophil, basic diaseptic cells. Their lifespan very few hours to a few days, and they are responsible to release histamine and heparin, and they are the cells, the uh, release these the inflammatory mediators. They contain heparin and as an anticoagulant. You know, if you recall, just by side discussion, the heparin is a substance which binds with the antithrombin 3 to inactivate the thrombin, and thus they act as an anticoagulant. So there is this is a very important role of the basophil. When they degranulate and release the heparin, they act as an anticoagulant. Another cell, the lymphocyte, you can see the very typical shape of this lymphocyte occupying by the whole nucleus. A very small rim of the cytoplasm remains behind, and their count is about 25% of the total white blood cells. They live in hours to years because they respond to the immune system, immune response by direct attack via the antibodies. I already told you these lymphocytes, they also provide their cellular immunity as well as humoral immunity by producing the antibodies. Then we go monocytes, very typical kidney shape or U-shaped nucleus, and they are remain in the area of the invasion outside the blood capillary into months in the tissues, and they are actively phagocytosis and causes in the tissue. So these are very important functions and process of these cells. we all know that these cells are formed from the very basic hematopoietic stem cell. When we are talking about the leukopoiesis, it is the formation of the WBC or leukocytes. When we are talking about the formation of RBC, we say it is erythropoiesis. But when we are going to discuss the formation of platelets, it means it is the formation of thrombocytes, so known as thrombopoiesis. So all WBCs are produced from the pluripotent stem cells by a process called the leukopoiesis. WBCs are produced in the red bone marrow, and many remains until needed in the body, and they may migrate other organs for further differentiation. So which organ we have discussed? The liver, the lungs, the alveoli, and the brain tissues and like that. So hormonally stimulated by two families of the cytokines, hematopoietic factor, they important role play by the interleukins and colony stimulating factors. They further stimulate the growth of these cells to differentiate from the very basic cell in the blastic state to the mature cells, and their granulation, their formation, their growth, and differentiation is very much important from the interleukins. They are numbered as interleukin 1, 2, and like that, and they are like another stimulating factor known as the colony forming stimulating factor. They are, we have given the name of the colony forming factors according to the type of the WBC they stimulate. Like if somebody says GCSF, it means it is the granulocyte colony stimulating factor, or GCSF, they stimulate the granulocytes. Okay, and others are monocyte, are we called the monocyte colony stimulating factor, and third type of the group of the stimulating factor is known as granulocyte monocyte colony stimulating factor. Now, if these factors are not available in the body, so we cannot develop the matured functional white blood cells. And sometimes this happens when there is a disease like in leukemia, which is an abnormal cancerous state of the this blood cells, which produces increased number of immature cells. They are ineffective. Quality wise, they are not functional. So that person's immune system becomes decreased, and ultimately they die because of the this lack of immunity and immune response. And we will discuss in our next few classes, if we have a chance, that these type of the patients, when they develop the leukemia or blood cancer, commonly known as blood cancer, they mainly treated by the bone marrow transplantation. Macrophages and T cells are the most important source of the cytokines, you can see here, and many hemopoietic hormones are used clinically to stimulate the bone marrow, and they are artificially available to enhance the bone marrow activity. So all leukocytes originate from the hemocytoblast. Hemocytoblasts are immature blood cells, and these differentiate into very committed cells, myeloid stem cells and lymphoid stem cells. They are committed to produce these specific type of the cells. So myeloid stem cells, they become myeloblast or monoblast, and lymphoid stem cells, they are formed from the very basic myeloid stem cells. You can see here this picture. We have got two series, myeloid stem cell and other as the lymphoid stem cell. And here is the, you can see, I am going back. Myeloblasts develop into eosinophil, neutrophil, and basophil. You can see here, this is the myeloblast. This gives the promyelocyte, which differentiate into eosinophil, neutrophil, and basophil. Another series is the monoblast, which give promonocyte to convert monocyte. Further, they differentiated into the macrophages. The third one is the lymphoid stem cell. So, which pluripotent stem cell? From the myeloid stem cell, all these cells are developed, and from the lymphoid stem cell, the lymphoblast, and ultimately pro-lymphocyte and lymphocyte B and plasma cells and T cells are formed, which further produces the T lymphocytes and B lymphocyte, the T cell immunity and humoral immunity. Okay, so these are the normal production of this white blood cells. In the case of when there is an abnormality, and this abnormality refers to a leukemia, which is a cancerous condition involving the white blood cells. What happens in this? Leukemia are named according to the type of abnormal cells involved. Suppose the myelocytic leukemia means when the myeloblasts are involved, and they are, myeloblast, they provide the neutrophil, eosinophil, and basophil. And lymphocytic leukemia when they involve the lymphocytes. So normally it depends upon the type of the cells which involved in the case of the blood leukemia. So we commonly known as this is a blood cancer. What we call it? It is known as blood cancer. Then we have commonly given the name of the these cells is about acute lymphocytes, and we can see that acute leukemia, they involve the very typically blast type cells, and primarily the affected by the your children in the younger age group. And chronic leukemia is more prevalent in older people because these are the cells which are already decreased in number, but when they are affected, they causes the very abnormal blastic cells, and they are really not able to fight against the invading microorganisms. So these immature white blood cells are found in the bloodstream in all the leukemias. So what is the difference in leukemia and leukocytosis? Very major difference. Leukemia is the abnormal increased number of white blood cells, which are ineffective. And what is leukocytosis? It is the normal number of white blood cells increased in number. That may be due to infection, due to invading microorganisms, we have already discussed, and they fight against the invading microorganisms. But the leukemic cells, these are having an unable to fight against the this invading microorganism because of their incapability. So let us see here the bone marrow which becomes totally occupied with the cancerous leukocytes. Cancerous leukocytes. And this cancerous leukocytes, they are once occupying the bone marrow, then they are leading a person, जिसे कहते हैं कि दुश्मन के हवाले कर दी पूरी बॉडी. So all the organisms, they invite and fight against the invading microorganisms. So this is called very much distressing condition, and such patients they need to change in the bone marrow, and we put the bone marrow transplantation for the production of the new cells. White blood cell produced, though numerous, are not functional. This is very much important thing which we need to know in difference between the leukemia and leukocytosis. And leukopenia term we already discussed. It is the decreased number of white blood cells, but they are normal and normal. Okay, normal in shape and their function. And then because of this invasion of this immature cells, death is caused by internal hemorrhage and overwhelming infections, and ultimately the treatment of this condition include irradiation, anti-leukemic drugs, and some bone marrow transplantation. So this is all from today's lecture. Thank you very much. If you have any question, you can ask. I will like to show you one thing more. Is that screen sharing stop over here? Let us see to share the screen. I think still I have time to show you one picture video over here from YouTube, and that is from, oh my God, listen, I like to move this for something else. Here is, I like to show you the, I don't know it will work here or not. The little bit net is slow, and we are trying to go. So here is the phagocytosis. If you write here, you can see that picture, how the process of phagocytosis takes place. I like to play this video. You can see this is the phagocytic response. These are the bacteria, and here is the phagocyte. They are engulfing and clearing the field. You can see here, very good example of the phagocytosis. It is the macrophages, and they are developing. These are the invading microorganisms, and here is the phagocytic cell. You know the term chemotaxis. Chemotaxis means when the bacteria releases the chemicals which attract the phagocytes. Inside is bacteria. This green one, it is destroyed after engulf on the macrophages. Okay. You can go through the these different animations available online on the YouTube. You can see by just writing the phagocytosis. Okay. I hope you have got this Yes, beta, there are certain chat questions I'd like to. May I end the class, sir? Okay, beta, just a minute, sir. The screen share is stopped. Okay, okay. Just a minute. Sakib, no video, you can't see. Okay, why there is death due to internal hemorrhage and leukemia or thrombocytes also affected? Once the one thing more is that when the bone marrow is not properly producing white blood cells, they are damaged. So we know that platelets are also formed from the your megakaryocyte. They are also produced from the bone marrow. When decreased number of platelets may lead to the hemorrhagic disorder. And not only that, but the effect is that the invading microorganism all they utilizes the fibrinogen, which is very important for the process of clot formation and unavailability of the fibrinogen known as the afibrinogenemia. Sometimes in severe bacterial infection, they causes the bleeding disorder and hemorrhage occurs. Okay, I think I should say goodbye to you. We have almost completed our lecture. If you have any question, you can ask. Uh, जी बेटा, any question? Should I end my lecture? Okay, okay, just a minute. We are blessed to be taught again by you. You are welcome, beta. You are welcome. I am very happy today that I am delivering lecture by my very intelligent students of my class. You all have proved your results very good, and I hope in future, inshallah, ta'ala, you will remain with the same pace. Thank you so much. Well, beta, both RBC and WBC they are formed from the white bone marrow. If bone marrow is destroyed, and hematopoietic stem cell is the main precursor, which produces not only the red blood cell but also the white blood cell. So definitely there will be a effect over the formation of white blood cells and red blood cells. But one thing is more is that it depends upon the stage where they are affected. If the two colony forming units are already formed inside the bone marrow, and then there is a defect in the monoid series or the lymphoid series, then that portion of the bone marrow will not functional, and so there will be a decreased number of lymphocytes or white blood cells that might not affect the red blood cells. Okay. Okay, beta. Thank you so much. Just remember me in your dua. Thank you all. Allah Hafiz.